my BJJ heroes and inspirations. Hey guys, Coach Tom here. I get asked all the time, like, who are your heroes? Who are your inspirations in BJJ? So I'm gonna make a quick video, I'm gonna list them off, and they come from a very wide range, not even just in the jiu-jitsu world, but hopefully some of these people's stories that I tell you briefly will help inspire you along with your journey. I mean, first of all, I have to give props to my first jiu-jitsu instructor that I spent many years under, John Will. He was an Australian BJJ pioneer. He's still a coach for me as a coach to this day. They call him the coach's coach, right? He's an amazing man that really showed me that jiu-jitsu, its primary benefit is life improvement, not street fighting or even getting fit or even, you know, beating someone up in the ring or a cage or a jiu-jitsu mat. The biggest thing is, you know, if you know leverage, how are you using leverage in your life? You know, if you know pressure and how to deal and be resilient, well, how do you apply that to your life? So I think that was a wonderful example to me. In terms of myself as a competitor, you know, Carlos Machado, my professor, as a jiu-jitsu athlete, you know, he's a wonderful example of a man who achieved great things and then came back, went back, and then got his Masters World titles, stuff like that. That's a massive inspiration for me. You know, Professor Machado has had my back 100%, and it's an honor to fight with his patches on and work the techniques that we work together and train out of his facility in Dallas and get me prepared for big international competitions. So the other mentors that I have in jiu-jitsu, you know, some people won't even know that they are, you know, an inspiration to me. But one is a man who lives in South Australia, like myself, called Sam Broughton. He lives about 8 hours away from me in a place called Port Lincoln. The man has a cerebral palsy, and you know, he has a hard time walking. And this man is a hero, not just in a jiu-jitsu sense, but in a community sense. The amount that that man does for his community. He has students who also have cerebral palsy, and you know, the amount of positive energy that that man brings to the world is just second to none. You know, he has every excuse not to compete or not to do jiu-jitsu, but he does it every day. You know, that guy rocks up, doesn't matter who he's fighting, big or small, you know, he's a purple belt, he slap hands and he goes for it, you know, and because of his condition, he doesn't win as much as his skills and physical preparation would normally result in. You know, if he didn't have that condition, he would be an incredibly conditioned, very smart, hard-working, tenacious athlete. And you know, he's held back by something, and it just reminds me, like, what excuses do we have? You might have a bad knee. Yeah, that's great. You have use of your legs. You need to shut up and go and compete, or shut up and train. You know, this guy has every reason to just complain and make excuses, and he never complains, he never makes excuses, he just works hard, he keeps a smile on his face, and he wins and loses like a champion. And I think as a coach, that man is an inspiration to me, and I'm proud to call him my friend. I think in terms of some people that inspire me, you know, I have a friend from Melbourne in Australia, in Victoria, and he was the first black belt I ever rolled with, you know, Craig Robinson. He's a really cool guy, and he was an older black belt when I first rolled with him. You know, he was already in his 40s, and I love that he would enter an adult division to make up a division. You know, I loved his thinking of, like, keeping these young guys honest, you know. And so, like, for instance, just this last weekend, you know, like, as a master division myself, but I stepped into adults. You know, you want to keep these young guys honest, and I think that Aussie battler strategy, you know, that mindset is something that I really admire about Craig. You know, he's a good friend and a wonderful guy, and yeah, someone who I'm proud, you know, to be around because of that. You know, he steps up to the plate, you know, like, he's got other interests in his life. You know, he's not 20 years old anymore, but he still steps up to the plate, and I really love him for doing that. In terms of my bucket list, you know, like, I'd love to train with a whole bunch of people. You know, I've met a lot of my idols in jiu-jitsu, but man, I watch so much jiu-jitsu, I study so much, I love it so much. I'd love it to get a chance to train with, like, you know, some of the notable greats and spend some mat time with, like, maybe Keenan Cornelius, Braulio Estima, Roger Gracie, Marcelo Garcia, I mean, the list goes on and on. Ryan Hall, he was very instrumental in my thinking. He's a lankier body type like me, smart man. Obviously, he has his MMA career now. He's out of the jiu-jitsu scene per se, but I'd love to spend some time with Ryan Hall. You know, obviously, you know, they're sort of the core group of the people I'd like to spend training time around. I've had the privilege of being able to train with all 5 Machado brothers, so there's a lot of champions right there. So that was a big bucket list achievement for me. But they're the people that inspire me, guys. And it's an absolute privilege, you know, when I travel to tournaments or I travel to train interstate and overseas, I get the privilege of people coming up to me to saying that I've inspired them a bit. And if you're watching this and I've inspired you at all, it's my sincerest pleasure, you know, like I'm so proud to be able to pass on a bit of that inspiration that I've been fortunate enough to receive by just fantastic friends, peers and mentors and instructors. So thanks for watching, guys. There are a few of the people that get me out of bed and get me training before the sun gets up and loving jiu-jitsu every day. They set great examples, and I think the biggest thing that all of my people that I look up to in my life have in common is they're all nice guys. They're all positive energy. You know, if someone said to me right now, okay, I've got a plane ticket, where are you gonna fly? I'd probably say, Bernardo Faria. I'd love to train with Bernardo. That guy's always got a smile on his face. It's at Marcelo's Academy. He's always got a smile on his face. And obviously that's something I'm known for, being a smiley guy, but it's not something I put on. I like to think that there's enough crap in this world that we should all be as happy as we can, and I'm lucky to live a happy life. So I think if you guys can watch this, realize that you can inspire a lot of people, whether you train with them, you're their coach, or even you're their student. You know, if you can bring some positive energy, you're gonna uplift people. And there's plenty of people who are tough, but there's not enough people who are nice. And if you can be tough, great, but it's better to be tough and nice. So that's my last message, guys. I'm Coach Tom. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching the video, guys. For more videos, click here. To subscribe to this channel to get all of our awesome videos, click here. And if you'd like to have our hour-long series for free on footlocks and how to defend footlocks and leg attacks of all kinds, please click here. I'm Coach Tom, guys. I'll see you next time.